Let's see how he likes it.
Something very pleasing about being surrounded by chickens.
I cocked up the pasta.
Whenever we get PayPal or Super Thanks, we turn off the mid-roll ads. Many thanks to these lovely people who helped us to do that.
It's quite late. What time is it?
12. About 12 o'clock, just gone 12.
Okie dokie. So we've got our first stop then is find somewhere for lunch.
Yeah, we're going to head back into France. Clear.
We had a great sleep at this little park up in the middle of nowhere. The only people that went past us were cyclists. Just down the end of this track was a canal with a little bridge, so I stopped to take a look, just in time to spot these two people carrying their cycle across. There was a house here with its solar panels angled towards the sun. Never seen that before. We drove on alongside the canal and there were bridges all the way along.
Oh, savage, those bumps.
Yeah.
It's their equivalent of speed humps, isn't it? It's just cobbles.
Cobbled bit of the road
Yeah.
to slow you down, yeah. Well, these roads are so straight that you could go really fast, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't in this. It'd shake us to death.
Now I was confused here. I thought this red light required me to stop, but having sat here for a while it suddenly dawned on me that it meant I couldn't go left across that bridge. What a lovely way to travel through Belgium. Having realised that I didn't need to stop at all, I decided to drive on. Luckily, there wasn't anybody to hold up.
Some beautiful old cars here, isn't there?
You see some interesting things in the centre of roundabouts. It looks like a bread mixer. I'm finally getting used to the roads. But pulling onto these motorways is always tricky as you don't really have a good view to the offside.
We're being diverted, but only round a short section. I wonder why that is then. What are they? Oh, is it some sort of check? If they want to check you for
Yes,
something?
because this is the border going back into France.
Oh, I see.
Like a border check.
No one's being stopped.
Is there police here? Yeah, police. There's a sign here.
Yeah. Must be on their lunch break.
Good then, we can come into France. So that was interesting. They didn't have anything like that going the other way into Belgium.
No.
Very soon we were pulling into our park up where we could have some lunch. I think this is a car park for the bus station and also the sports fields behind us. On this trip we've been looking out for the shade far more than we've ever done before. Right next to us is Fort des Dunes, which was built in 1880. It was built as a result of the defeat of France in the Franco-Prussian War. The fort didn't see any action during the First World War as it was too far from the front lines. During the evacuation of the armies, at Dunkirk, the fort served as the headquarters for the French forces.
So for lunch we're having croque monsieur, which we're cooking in the Ridge Monkey, and I've had to cut one in half to make sure I can fit two in at the same time. And as you can see, they cook really quickly. I've already had to turn these over after a minute and turn it down on a really low heat. Let's see how he likes it.
Here's my sandwich.
It's your lunch.
Thanks very much, that looks lovely.
Nice little thing it's got.
How's it going?
Okay, another wash up done.
Good, eh?
Put a bin liner in.
Chairs are packed.
Yeah.
We're good to go, I think.
Let's go find the museum.
I don't know how safe it is to leave the vehicle here, so I'm taking all my kit with me. This is the Musée Dunkerque, and of course it's all about Operation Dynamo, the operation to evacuate Allied forces from mainland Europe. The museum is housed in an old 1870s fort. At the start is an exhibition of photographs taken during the recent filming of the movie about Dunkirk. There's also a short film about the evacuation.
Thousands of dazed refugees are walking on the sides of the road.
The Battle of Dunkirk took place between the 26th of May and the 4th of June 1940. The Battle of France had begun in earnest on the 10th of May that year, and the German army, using blitzkrieg tactics, had reached the coast by the 20th of May. In one of the most widely debated decisions of the war, the Germans halted their advance on Dunkirk. Contrary to popular belief, what became known as the Halt Order did not originate with Adolf Hitler. That decision was taken by his generals, who were fearful of an Allied breakout. This gave the Allied forces sufficient time to organise an evacuation. In the end, over 330,000 Allied troops were rescued and evacuated by all manner of ships from the beaches. Entry to the museum cost us €15. It doesn't take that long to see everything on offer. The displays are presented to be more visual rather than reams of lengthy text to read. On the whole, we'd say it's worth a visit, but it won't take too much time for you to see it all. I'm a bit of a sucker for buying books in these places, but I hate to say it, I rarely read them all. When we were done, we signed the register and we're on our way.
Got a curb right
There's a
down.
curb, but there's no traffic coming.
Make a good Airbnb.
climbing up a very bumpy cobblestone road, and just up here on the left should be our park up for the night.
Good, we're falling apart. This must be it.
Yeah.
There's a camper there.
There's one other motorhome here. At first we thought this was going to be a very tranquil park up for the night, but then it became clear just how much noise that cobble road produces. They have all sorts of facilities here for a picnic. You've got bench seats, you've got sun loungers, and you've got covered areas. They've even got a pump for your tyres if you need it. It's going to reach a high of 24 degrees tonight. My turn to cook. It's going to be a simple meal, but I still managed to cock it up. So I started with a bit of olive oil, then chopped up a leek and added that to the pan. To that I added a box of tomatoes and some concentrate. I really like these small boxes of tomatoes that you can get in France. Next I added a tin of crab meat, and I really wish I'd added this at the end, as it basically just went to mush. Next was a bag of frozen prawns, and it was after this that I realised I'd made a monumental mistake.
I cocked up the pasta. I meant to cook the pasta separately, but then we've only got one pan, so once I'd started cooking the filling, all was lost. So I've had to put the pasta in with the filling, and it takes longer doing that way.
Good job we got all the time in the world then on this trip. So thanks to my stupid mistake, everything basically got overcooked.
Let's try prawn. They're juicy, aren't they?
She's just being kind. They're hard as bullets and the pasta is stodgy. I think we'll see you in the morning.
Leaving the old life behind, giving the new one a try, making the past as we go, trying a new way to grow, finding a new way to define the way our life is in this time, changing familiar thoughts as we go, shaping the world that we show. So many different ways to make us fly, all of the chances we have to ask why so little time we still have to try. Day by day we'll make it right.
It's 20 past 7. Hello? Hello? something very pleasing about being surrounded by chickens. Slept really well last night, and if it wasn't for the rooster, I'd have missed my flight this morning.
Blooming hot last night, wasn't it?
It was. It's so refreshing that it's cool this morning.
Yeah.
Open the door. It's getting a bit unbearable. So I don't know how we'll cope when it's really, really hot.
Well, if it wasn't for those fans, we'd have been in a bit of trouble, I think, really, wouldn't we?
They are a bit of a lifesaver.
We'd have had to leave all our windows open.
Yeah. You've had a few bites.
Yeah. A few mozzies. It's so much easier wild camping in France. I mean, I think it's pretty easy in England as well, but absolute piece of cake over here. I wouldn't recommend this park up. Far too many cars, I think, and that road surface really makes them much noisier than they'd normally be.
We used to put this bin between the seats when we were driving, but now we just clamp it in position using these magnets against the fridge.
You haven't plotted one yet.
No, well, you had your phone. So we're going to try for a Grand Place.
Okay.
We're off to see the town now that I filmed earlier with the drone. Thank the Lord that not all roads are built this way.
Bye, chickens.
It was only a short distance up the hill before we reached the town and were swallowed up by the huge town walls.
Park anywhere you can here.
Okay.
So far, parking in France has been an absolute doddle and free. Not sure how they manage to sleep at night though, as they've still got the cobbled roads here. Some of the churches in France have very long names. Cassel is a very small town, but with a very large church. I wonder if these are the original windows. Did they survive the Second World War, or have they had to be replaced? What a shame we didn't get to hear this organ play. Some of their buildings are neglected, and others, like this church, are being restored. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to help turn off the mid-roll ads in the next episode, then you'll find a link to PayPal in the description, or you can use the Super Thanks button. Any amount can do this. We know money is tight, so if you can't afford to do that, then the best way you can help us is by hitting that subscribe button and giving us a like.